Johnson heads to the bucket. Layup. Johnson. Good.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Talkin' Sports with me, Chris Powers, and we've got lots to talk about today. We've got, obviously LSU to talk about. We've got the Saints to talk about, Major League Baseball to talk about. You name it, we've got all kind of things to talk about today. But we begin with this: fans' expectations. Why is it doing what it's doing? When and how far will fan patience go? Nick Saban talked about it yesterday. It's gotten out of hand, and it's continuing to be out of hand. What are we going to get to? Is there going to be a new coach every year? I mean, could that be the case? I've lived here in Louisiana all my life. All my life I've lived here. I've not lived in any other state, period. I know that Louisiana fans, they're the loudest when they are. We could be the loudest in the Dome, Superdome, make it a tough place to play. Tiger Stadium, the Death Dome, the PMAC, you name it. We're very passionate about our sports, period. And people say, what's the only thing they got to do? No, we got tons of festivals to do, so it's not everything we have to do. But it's a big part of life. We produce top 10 in NFL talent, top 10 in NBA talent, top 10 in Major League Baseball talent. LSU fans have gotten into Notre Dame, meaning that they're listening to Notre Dame. They're still upset Brian Kelly left. They're still upset. So they're putting everything out there on social media that you can do. I told you he wasn't going to be a good coach. Why were they so upset that he left then? But LSU, and it's not every fan, it's these younger fans, these students, that are getting in all of that and getting in with them. You're siding with Notre Dame. They have pulled you in, and you're siding with them. Brian Kelly's not a good fit. And now podcasts from all over are saying that. They're running with it. He's not a good fit. What do you mean he's not a good fit? He's not a good coach? Oh, he's not from Louisiana. My bad. Oh, wait a minute. Paul Dietzel, who won the first national championship at LSU, was from Ohio. Bill Arnsparger. Boy, I loved Bill Arnsparger. Loved the 3 years he was there. I was there in, can't remember what year it was. It was 21-19. LSU beat Notre Dame in Tiger Stadium. I was there. Great. I was sitting in Dale Brown's personal seats at Tiger Stadium because my uncle knew him. Bill Arnsparger was from Kentucky. Oh, Charlie McClendon, though. He had to be from Louisiana, right? No, he's from Arkansas. Nick Saban. Everybody loved him. They put all the oatmeal cookie, well, the oatmeal cakes or pies, whatever you want to call them, right there at his doorstep to keep him here. That's his favorite, Little Debbie. Yeah, he was from Louisiana. West Virginia. Les Miles. Well, nobody liked Les Miles Hall anyway. He won the national title and did something that Nick Saban didn't do. He brought the national championship right there on Bourbon Street and held it with a crowd. Still didn't like him. He was from Ohio. Skip Bertman. Well, Skip Bertman, he has to be from Louisiana. Or maybe he's from Miami. No, he's from Michigan. When people say that he don't fit in the culture, you're showing your ignorance. I'm going to say it right now. You're showing your ignorance. Because no coach except Orgeron, and we know what Orgeron did, 2019, unbelievable. Great. Before that and after that was an absolute cluster. Absolute cluster. McClendon finished 67% winning percentage. It's not bad. He's in the Hall of Fame. He won one SEC championship. One. And that year they went to the Orange Bowl, 1970, and they lost. And yet you named a practice field after him. A practice field. It'll be permanently there. The Charlie McClendon practice field. Bill Arnsparger didn't win a title. He left to go to Florida. After he left, LSU became Tennessee and what Florida is now. Every now and then they'll win, but they haven't won an SEC title in years. Years. Saban was 26-12 in his first 3 years at LSU. Brian Kelly's 29-11. Saban won the West in year 2 and won the Sugar Bowl. Also won the SEC championship game that year. That's why they went to the Sugar Bowl. Kelly won the West in his first year, but lost to Georgia, who obviously went on to win the national title, and he won the Citrus Bowl. He hadn't lost a bowl game yet. His record now is 34-13. 34-13. But yet so many fans want him out. So many fans want him out. 34-13. How bad is this going to get? What are we looking for? Who's going to want to come with this job? I guarantee you, if I was a coach right now at 56 years old, I wouldn't come to LSU. I don't care if I loved LSU all my life, and I have. I wouldn't come to LSU. No. I'd stay wherever I'm at. It's unbelievable to me. I'm just amazed. His record at Tiger Stadium is 23-2. 23-2. Away now. Look, and don't think that I'm not discouraged and I'm upset. He's 8-7 away. 8-7 on the road. 3-4 neutral sites. And he's 5-10 versus ranked opponents. I understand that. I understand that. Orgeron was 19-7 in his first 2 years. Won the national championship in 2019 and was 11-12 after that. And you still love him. You still love. Some people say we want Coach Orgeron back. That's like saying that you love Edwin Edwards. You wanted to vote him back for governor. You don't care what he did. You know he stole, but he did good for the state. Everybody knew him. He brought casinos. I'll vote for him. They still loved him. I had some family members that would still vote for him. Probably still do now that he's dead. How about stability? I got to ask LSU fans, because the students are not going to care. They're not going to care. They're going to do their 4 years and they're gone. Their 5 years and they're gone. They just want to party. They want to be happy and all that stuff. LSU, do you want to be the next Tennessee? You want to be the next Florida? Tennessee hadn't won an SEC title game since 1998. Florida hadn't won since 2008. Is that where you want to go? Is that where you want to go? And stop saying all of this, well, we have state talent, and they're going to stay in here. It's always the case. And you keep getting this instability. Look at Florida. Look at Texas. Has Texas won a national title with all the money they got? How about A&M? And it's not just at LSU, it's everywhere. Penn State obviously got rid of Franklin. I'll talk about that in just a moment. At Southern University, how about 5 coaches in 6 years? Think about that. 5 coaches in 6 years. Odoms was in the spring of 2021. Rollins was in the fall of 21. Then Dooley. Then Graves. And now McNair. 5 coaches in 6 seasons. How can you build stability with that? How can you build stability that? If I'm a quarterback coming in, how do I know my coach is not going in 2 years? And I love Southern. I've been there for 23 years. We get 24 in basketball. You got to be able to build stability. You got to. You got to put money in the program, and you have to build stability right now. Coach Graves won the SWAC Western Divisional Championship last year, and he's gone over halfway through the season, 1-6. Saints fans, you hated Derek Carr. Family man, religious guy, loved the city, moved to Mandeville area, talked about it, tried to get involved with community and all that stuff. You hated him. He was 14-13. Spencer Rattler is 1-12. Now, there's people telling that we need to get rid of Spencer Rattler now. We use a replacement. I agree. And I'll talk about that later on. 1-12. Why in the hell would you run Derek Carr out? Isn't this state supposed to be the state that's known for hospitality? What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Why is fans turning on people like this? And why not just go out there and enjoy the game? And if they're not winning, okay, it's upsetting. Don't think I don't get upset if the Saints don't win or if LSU don't win. I didn't watch the game film I watched a little bit of the game as I was preparing for my game on Saturday. I watched that game. I saw it, but I didn't go back and watch the game film again to write down notes like I normally do. Yeah, I'm upset too. But am I so upset that I'm going to go yell at Kelly, who's been here for 4 years, and say he's a bum? Get the hell out of here? No. Am I disappointed? Yeah, I'm disappointed. But if we're a state that is supposed to be with hospitality, how do we treat Brian Kelly right now? How do we treat Derek Carr? Derek moved. He's gone. Where do we go from here, college football? Where do we go? One coach a year? Oh, man, he was great, but we finished 8-4. Go get a new coach. And a new coach, and a new coach, and a new coach. LSU fans, you fell right into Notre Dame's hands, and they're happy. They're laughing their ass off right now. It's horrible. It's horrible. They wouldn't be talking like this if they were still mad that he left. They weren't. They wouldn't be. Now, I think that if Kelly don't make the playoffs, I think there'll be a 3-loss team in the playoffs, maybe 2. He don't make the playoffs, it's going to get bad. And it could get bad this week. Walking down the Tiger Walk like they do before the A&M game, I mean, I guess he's going to do it. But I think he's going to hear some jeers. And especially if they start losing, I guarantee you the student section are going to start yelling, fire Brian Kelly. So you're going to copycat Florida fans. You're going to copycat Florida fans. I told you at the beginning of the season, it takes time to gel. And if you played the game, you know. It takes time to be able to communicate what is your guy going to do. If you're a linebacker, 2 linebackers in there, what is your linebacker going to do on inside? What is the outside linebacker going to do? What is your quarterback and safety? Are they communicating? Do they know their instinct of what they're going to do? If a quarterback is in trouble, which Nussmeier's been in trouble a lot, as a wide receiver, do I curl, come back to him? Do I go on a slant or do I go on a fly pattern? What do I do? They got to know that. They got to know their instincts because Nussmeier has to throw the ball before the receiver gets to this spot where he's supposed to be. So let's go back. Has any team with this amount of transfers won a national championship? We've talked about that. With Ole Miss, no. They're not even close. Every year they start out great, and then they get beat. Every year. And they did it again. Good game against Georgia, but they didn't win. And they're going to lose probably somewhere else down the line. Ohio State won the national championship last year. Guess how many transfers, starting players, transfer lists they had on their team? 3. Oh, Michigan won 2 years ago. Guess how many transfer starters they had on their team? 0. Brian Kelly wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. Kirby Smart, same thing. But he got so wrapped up in all this stuff with the fans that he went back doing it his way. I mean, he went back and did it against his way, and that's going to the transfer portal. It takes time to gel. LSU fans don't want to hear that. LSU fans don't want to hear that. It's like they've got millions of dollars at stake. Are we the Green Bay Packers where we own that? They own the team? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. What do you guys want? He has a winning record. I understand if they don't make the playoffs again. I understand. I'm disappointed too. Nick Saban always said it takes 5 years to build a program. 5 years. 5 years to realistically do it. I mean, what do you get rid of Kelly, who's coming? Remember, coaches turned down Alabama. They didn't want to come here. They didn't want to go to Alabama because of the pressure and following Nick Saban. I could understand if we're in the Jerry Stovall, Mike Archer era, Curly Hallman, Jerry DiNardo. I can understand that. I was there. I lived it. As a member of the media, I was there for Hallman, and I was there for DiNardo. I understand your frustration. I remember that. It was horrible. Now, I talk about sports on this show. I also do play-by-play, and I'm a fan. I've been a fan forever. I'd never miss a Saints game. I'd never miss an LSU game, but more of a Saints. I was a Saints fan before I was an LSU fan. I watch the Saints every Sunday. I wouldn't go out and play with my friends. I'd play with them all Monday through Saturday. But when it came down to Saints football at 12 noon, well, really 11 because I watch the NFL today, I was there watching every Saints game. I didn't miss one Saints game. Not one. Like that a good ways till I started doing play-by-play and I was maybe traveling and coming back on a Sunday. LSU, watch them all the time. Loved LSU. My first game, I don't know who they played. I remember going to the game. I was young, and I remember sitting on the east side, and it was before they built that top. I was close to the fence there. They had on the very top. You couldn't go any further. I don't remember who they played. I remember eating at the Union, at the Student Union, at a restaurant there. I remember coming down Dalrymple because I lived in Alexandria at that time, Louisiana. I remember coming down Dalrymple because there was a big wall there. That's the only wall to the exit we have in Baton Rouge. That's a big wall. You're right next to it. I remember all that. But I'll be honest with you, my fandom is starting to go down, down, down. I'm getting to the point where I'm not even going to be a fan anymore. If LSU does what I think they're going to do this weekend and just really treat Kelly like crap, especially the student body, my fandom, and if they get rid of Kelly, my guess is that Kelly retires. I don't think they're going to fire him. My guess is that if this turns bad, if they lose this weekend, it's going to get bad, 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 and I got a feeling Kelly retires. He's at that age. Nick Saban responded yesterday about this, and he said it's absolutely crazy. He says that Franklin he was in the playoffs last year. In the playoffs. Not only you have to pay him off big-time money, but he was in the playoffs last year. And he's gone. Kelly is a winning record. We're not in the Curly Hallman era. And you want to get rid of him? Now, has he won the big game? No. Is he capable of winning the big game? Do I think he's a good coach? Yes. Yes. And we're meaning by big games, I know he's 5-10 against ranked opponents. I understand that. I understand that. You're upset. I'm upset too. But I'm not so upset where I want Kelly to go. I don't know. I don't know anymore where we are in an era to where that we want to just demand these changes like this, like it's worth our life or death. That Kelly lost a game at Vanderbilt where they had an opportunity to win. Every game they lost, their 2 games this year against Ole Miss. I think they played better than Georgia did. Offensively, Georgia played better, but defensively, LSU played better against Ole Miss than Georgia did. I think also in the Vanderbilt game, we had plenty of opportunities to win. But what Kelly said, we're not playing together. Means the offense, I think the offense has gotten better, and I think the defense was here and have gone down. I think the defense is right there. We missed 3 starters, I understand, but I think the defense is going down. They're not playing great together. They're not playing, the defense plays well, the offense plays well. That's why they're not winning. I told you it would take time to gel. Look how many transfers we've had. That starts. And look at the offensive line. That's the only thing that maybe they should have done better. That's where it starts. Mike Ditka knew that. Mike Ditka was building that offensive defensive line, and the very next year they made the playoffs when Ditka was fired because he built a very good offensive line. It took time to do it. It takes time. That's where you start. See, it doesn't matter with the spread offense, West Coast offense, whatever the hell it is, they come up with a new deal. It's still a battle of positions. It's still the score indicates the win. You play the game to win. You coach the game to win. And it still starts at the offensive defensive line. Winning the battle up front. If you can do that, you have a good chance of winning the game. I just think, I don't know. I'm blown away by this. I don't think it's going to look for Kelly this weekend, and it's going to start this weekend. We'll talk more about LSU coming up. Southern University makes changes. We'll talk about that coming up. Talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan in the house, Marty's in the house. Back in a moment right after this on Pelican Sports TV.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouget today.
For a lot of people, going to the dentist brings anxiety. It can feel cold, rushed, even intimidating. We get it. That's why we built something different. We take the time, we listen, we know your name and your story because you're more than just a patient, you're family. You don't have to dread the dentist. You just need the right one. Call or visit FougetFamilyDentistry.com to schedule.
Make a fun run in Livingston Parish now with all kinds of events for the whole family this fall. On October 25th, it's the Livingston Parish Creole Festival in French Settlement, Louisiana on Highway 16. Family-friendly fun, live music, Creole food, arts and crafts, and plenty of activities for the kiddos. Shop vendor booths and pursue the cultural exhibits. Then in November, it's the Walker reenactment on the 1st. Then on November 8th, it's the City of Walker Veterans Day Parade that will begin and end at Walker High School starting at 11 a.m. Also in the city of Dedham Springs, the veterans will be honored at the Evergreen Park on November the 8th. For more information, visit LivingstonTourism.com. That's LivingstonTourism.com. Livingston Parish, make a fun run.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Dedham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan in the house. Southern University has made changes. I was there yesterday for the press conference. I conducted the press conference. Former head coach Terrence Graves won the West last year. He's gone now after starting the season 1-6. Look, I think coaches and ex-players, when they first get on the set, they're like, y'all don't know what's going on. And now Nick Saban's in his years, now 2 years in the ESPN as an analyst, he sees that. He doesn't know what goes on in that locker room at Alabama. He didn't know what goes on in the locker room at LSU or the New Orleans Saints or what have you, or at Southern University. He doesn't know. We don't watch the game film, and we're not in the locker room. So only Terrence Graves and the coaches know what's going on. Is it a discipline problem? They've had a lot of penalties, a lot of silly penalties. Is it a focus problem? I think it's more of a focus problem. Excel in practice, but get to game time, deer in headlights. That's what I'm hearing. Don't know if it's true. I don't know. Former head coach of the Alcorn State Braves, Fred McNair, takes over. Now, Fred McNair won in 16, 17, 18, and 19 the Eastern Division of the SWAC. 4 years. The first 4 years he coached. He won the SWAC title against Southern 2018 and 2019. Made it to the Celebration Bowl both those times. Didn't win. Was named Coach of the Year in the SWAC. Then in 2023, his final year, they were now moved to the West, in a realignment because Bethune and FAMU came in. So with that, they were in the West. They won the co-championship in 2023. Only Prairie View A&M won the head-to-head battle, so they went to the SWAC championship game and got beat against Florida A&M. His record at Alcorn State is 47-36 overall, and in the SWAC, 37-18. Believe it or not, I had media yesterday asking me, well, Southern's done for the championship, right? They can't win the West. No, they still can. Mathematically, they still can. Crazy, they still can. And the reason I say that is because the only one team they played in the West right now is Prairie View A&M. Last weekend, they lost. Prairie View is 4-0. They play Lincoln this weekend, non-conference game. So if they lose the rest of their games, they finish 4-4. If Southern wins the rest of their games, they go 5-3. So they win the West. They have tiebreakers over everybody else except Prairie View. If Prairie View wins one SWAC game and Southern or Southern loses a SWAC game, then all bets are off. It's over. Their chance of winning the West is over. So it's very important that Southern wins this game against FAMU, and they're beatable because FAMU has been struggling as well as Southern University. Two historic programs are struggling in the SWAC. And, you know, every one of these coaches talk about it at the end. It's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault, because nobody wants to throw anybody under the bus anymore. It's my fault. I didn't prepare him well. I didn't do this. When are you going to start holding players accountable? Because you coach them, and you didn't fall off the coaching tree last week or last night. You know how to coach. But if these players are not listening to what you're saying and not going by the game plan, when a coach is going to say, you know, because it teaches accountability. I'm honest. Maybe I'm old school. My son wanted to try out for a football team because a lot of his friends were trying out. And he said, Dad, so I went and watched him practice. Give me your honest opinion. Right now, you don't have an athletic bone in your body. I didn't want to sugarcoat it. Oh, you're the best singer in the world, son or daughter. You're the best singer. And you suck. I don't want to do that because you're going to embarrass that person. So I told him, right now, no, you don't have it. But I played the game for a long time, so if you want, every afternoon you and I will work together. I'll show you what you need to do. But he didn't want to do that. He only didn't want to do it because of his friends were. So he was a Marine. He loved the woods, became a United States Marine, finished as a sergeant, 6 years at Quantico, Virginia, which hardly nobody goes to Quantico. They wanted to move him up, but after 6 years, he wanted to get out. Now he's the executive bodyguard for billionaires in Los Angeles. But I said, if you want to work at it, we'll work at it every time. I can see the way he catched the ball, the way he ran, the way he carried the ball, everything. I'm going to teach you all of that. I'm going to teach you the instincts. Try to get you the instincts and what have you. It's going to take time. I was honest with him. I talked to Graves yesterday, and he's a guy, big time in faith. He's a big faith enriched guy. He said he's still going to love Southern University, and everything's going to be fine. He's going to get on with his life. Now, they still owe Graves $250,000, the rest of his salary for the rest of this year, and they'll owe him $250,000 next year. The only way that changes if he gets another job, and like say if he gets an assistant job for $100,000, they got to pay him the $150,000 to make up the difference. Now, they're still paying Dooley, too, $153,000 plus a year until the end of next year. I also talked to Fred McNair, had an opportunity to sit down and talk to Fred McNair, talk to him about him coming over. Did he ever envision he would ever be here? He played against Southern as a very good SWAC quarterback, coached against Southern, and I talked to him yesterday about everything and how things are going to go. And did he ever think he would be in this situation? No, but he loves being here at Southern. And, yeah, he will try to apply for the coaching job. But it's going to be able to see what happens. If they win 5 straight, there's a very good chance he'll get it. They go 5-3 in the next or in the SWAC, go 5-0 in the next 5 games, and win the Bayou Classic. That's including the Bayou Classic. Yeah, he's got a good shot. Got a good shot. He's successful everywhere he's been. So I don't know. I love Southern University to death. I've always followed them before I started, broadcasting their games. I always followed Southern. Pete Richardson and I are good friends. Athletic director, Banks and I are good friends. Rodney, the assistant AD, and I are friends. The whole staff at Southern I'm friends with. I've worked with them for 23 years. And like I said, basketball will be 24. It's tough when you have changes like that. But in the coaching deal, Beamer said this, if you watch that Netflix special, Beamer told his wife, it's not a matter if we get fired, it's when we get fired. That's what coaches go through. That's the name of the game. That's the beast. Especially this day and age, there's not coaches going to last a long time. Fans don't have the patience anymore like an Osborne at Nebraska to wait that long to win a national title. Or Bobby Bowden at Florida State. They don't have that patience anymore. They don't. They just don't. I don't know. Jonathan, your thoughts about, you and I were talking off air about the Saints and all that stuff and our expectations and how you couldn't watch the Saints. I watch them on TV because I lived in Alexandria at that time. Then I moved to Baton Rouge, and I was in Baton Rouge a good while. But I remember the days we couldn't watch the Saints and all that. It was blacked out in New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Your thoughts right now? Well, the state of college football, like Nick Saban said yesterday, I mean, he's not going to get back. People say, oh, he might be interested in the Florida job. No. What if Alabama job came open? No, he's not. He's not going to go back to that.
Yeah.
He said that. If this is a cluster. It's a tornado. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and it truly has evolved in just a very recent memory. I mean, yeah, like I said, when I was a kid living right outside New Orleans, I was hoping for an organization to buy thousands of tickets just so the game could get played on TV and not be in a blackout. The Saints fans, you can call it that now, but there weren't many back then. But the city, the people, the society was able to accept a mediocre football team. Those days are long gone.
Right.
Like Coach Graves used to say, we live in a microwave society, and football is a crock pot process. It just takes time to gel. You got to get in football shape. Your timing has to be down. Yeah. There has to be a whole lot of factors. I want to say this. I do not think Coach Graves was the problem. Through the long list of problems at Southern, and I don't want to throw kids under the bus, so I won't mention specific positions, but yeah, it's not always about the X's and O's. Sometimes it's about the Jimmies and Joes, both on the positive and the negative. We know Coach Graves is trying to do his best to discipline this team, but winning is a mindset, just like losing is a mindset. And I don't know where we shifted. It was sometime after Katrina. I think it might have, maybe it was prior to Katrina for Nick Saban's age or era here at LSU, but mediocrity will not be accepted anymore on the football field. And it's not just in Louisiana, but Louisiana is special because the people here can't accept to just be okay at something or just dip their toes in a habit. Like, people in Louisiana are obsessive. They want to be the best at whatever they do. You talk about the food, the music, the culture, sports, high school sports, football, baseball. They strive for excellence. And the passion, I believe, is what separates Louisiana football players from a lot of the other football players across the country. It just means more. It's ingrained into your personality. You're born into it through your parents, through your grandparents. And if you can recruit the bloodline of Louisiana, you feel like any coach has a job to or has a chance to do a great job at LSU. Doesn't really matter who the offensive coordinator is, who the defensive coordinator is. As long as you recruit Louisiana and keep the best players in state, then you have a pretty good shot. And with the new landscape of NIL and transfer portal, this is not the same job as even if it was 4 years ago when Brian Kelly took it. I think if the status had remained status quo and there wasn't as much parity in the SEC and just paying players was done on the side in hush-hush and brown paper bags, then LSU and Brian Kelly would have had tremendous success. I mean, the way they were able to not only keep their roster but also bring in these transfers is truly remarkable. And they went after a very specific type of person, not player but person, off the field that they could be very accountable, be a good student athlete first, so they're going to graduate champions. I think that took time for Brian Kelly to get his guys in here, his process for them to 100% buy in. And that's what football is. It isn't a half buy-in. It's 100% bought in or not. And when things start going the other way, not so well, it's easy to fall into that losing mindset if you weren't 100% bought in. If you don't 100% believe that your band of brothers can get the job done. Unfortunately, I understand the 5-10 against ranked opponents for Brian Kelly is not good enough. But I can't name 10 college football coaches that I would take over Brian Kelly. This last coaching search, Brian Kelly wasn't even a name that was thrown around. It was like the Lincoln Rileys of the world. I don't know if there's an immediate fix for this LSU, winning every game, because that's what LSU fan wants. They want to go undefeated, 15-0, go 2019, bring in Joe Burrow, whoever it is, Jaden Daniels, and we'll be undefeatable. But that's just not the case anymore. There's way too much parity in the SEC. I feel for coaches, and I guess that's why they get paid, multi-millions of dollars to get fired, like James Franklin. I'm hearing a very, very popular sports brand picked up the tab for that James Franklin fire. And so the universities don't always get hit, but the people that have the money, the Adidas, the Nikes, the Lipsies of the world, that's who puts the pressure on the board to make these decisions. It's truly the money. The money talks in every situation, and I hope that Brian Kelly can right this ship. Look, 10-2 would be amazing. Like you said, there will be playoff teams in it this year that have 2 losses, possibly a 3-loss team. I don't think LSU is going to run the table. Texas A&M, the quarterback alone. Marcel Reed is playing the opposite brand of football that Garrett Nussmeier is. That guy is uber confident in every play call. He's executing at the Texas A&M is playing above their weight class. They're punching above their weight class, and LSU simply has underperformed.
Yeah, that's what Nick Saban said yesterday. Super fans, these guys with money, or these groups with money, and they're super fans. That's all they are, is super fans. Never played the game, might play video games, might have gone to games, but they're super fans, and they're pressuring people to do this. Never played the game, which is fine, but don't think you know how to run a football team or know how to play the game if you've never played the game. Period. Georgia fans are not like that. It took 5 years. Kirby Smart didn't win a title in 5 years. Won an SEC title, made the college football playoff, but it was a different era back then, too, even when he made it. Won the championship in year 6, but hadn't won in 3 years now. Well, this will be 3 seasons. If they win this year, they might. Oh, who knows? But the reason I know that is because Mark Richt was there for a long time. They didn't pressure Mark Richt. They didn't go crazy. He always won, but he never had a dominating to where he had a chance to win a national championship. I'm telling you guys, and I'm not going to get through to those guys who have their mind that they can't stand Kelly. I think this week could get bad. We'll talk about that game coming up here in just a moment with that, but absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm absolutely shocked of all the stuff that goes on now with football. And it's football, mainly. Because look at basketball. Nobody's getting pressure about basketball. Men's basketball right now. Even baseball wouldn't be that much pressure. It's football. It's football, and it's crazy. But I don't know. We'll do the Pick'em game coming up right in the later on in the show. When we come back, we're talking about the Saints. There was and I love this guy. He's on the air here in Baton Rouge. Loved him as a running back. Jacob Hester said, we'll break the game film down about Spencer Rattler. If you think Rattler, it's not just Rattler's or all Rattler's fault. It's not, but a lot of it is. A lot of it is, and we'll look at the film coming up right here when we continue talking sports with me, Chris Powers, and Jonathan in the house. Back after this time out right here on Pelican Sports TV.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Growing up in this office, I saw what made it different. My dad knew every name, every story. He made people feel comfortable even when they were nervous. And I learned something important. When you treat people like family, they remember it. That's how we've grown, through referrals, relationships, and real trust. That's the kind of care I believe in, and it's exactly what you'll find here at Fruget Family Dentistry. Fruget Family Dentistry, rooted in family, focused on you. Call or visit frugetfamilydentistry.com to schedule.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fruget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fruget today.
All right, welcome everybody, and we have breaking news a little bit, but this will be breaking as it goes and airs all this week. Tony Vitello was seen today hugging his players, and they were doing about to do a scrimmage. He was hugging his players, and he was crying, so that pretty much means the deal with San Francisco Giants are pretty close. Good riddance. Yeah, good riddance.
Hey, Jay Johnson's smiling secretly somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like Tony Vitello, with him doing that, that's pretty much his agent saying, now we all have to do is a press conference. Looks like the deal's done. Unless something happens at the last minute, looks like the deal's done. But Tony Vitello will be coaching in the Major League Baseball in the San Francisco Giants. All right, the New Orleans Saints, 1-6. 1-6. Spencer Rattler had 4 turnovers in the ball game by himself. Let's take a look at the game film right here as we watch this right here. Absolutely unbelievable. Here is the first one. It's the first fumble he's lost in his career. Now, he's had fumbles like that before, but the Saints have recovered. This is the first one he's lost. But watch it. It goes right here. You got to know, if you're going to run the football, you got to know that somebody's going to hit you. I thought somebody hit the ball. No, they hit his upper arm near his bicep. Bam, gone. Fumbles the football. Chicago gets it, and the only way they don't score a touchdown is Williams dropped the ball in the 10-yard line. Look how he dropped the ball. You can't do that. Rattler ought to know that. These guys are big defensive linemen. They're going to knock the ball away. Here's another one right here. Interception. Throw right across the middle. Bam. Now, what the problem is, he's throwing behind his receivers, and he's throwing too late. He's throwing for receivers to get open. You're going to watch it back in slow motion right here. As we'll watch right now, you'll see how the ball's behind him, and it's a late throw, period. Now, Tipton is supposed to make a cut. He does make a slant. There it is. It's a skinny post. Bam, interception. Watch again. Watch how late the ball is. See? Bam, way behind him. Look how late. He throws the ball open. Well, the DBs are going to get open. I mean, they're going to come and make the play. This one is a Babe Ruth, I'm going to call it. Go further back. Go back. Oh, this is a slam dunk home run. This is an easy touchdown. Watch the Chicago Bear DB thank him. Look, pointing to him. Thank you, Rattler. Good job, brother. Good throw. Watch this. Easy peasy. He was well over Shaheed's head. Thank you, bro. Here's another one. Watch how late he is on this throw. Big time late, and not only that, nowhere near accuracy. That guy it was near his shoulder pads, right by his sternum when he threw that ball. Again, late behind the tight end, and a slant is one of the easiest passes for NFL quarterbacks to throw, even college quarterbacks. It's an easy pass to throw. Bam, rolls outright. Look at the throw. Watch again. It was tipped, and then, of course, he gets it. Now watch it. Watch where you still already hit 53? Right in the middle of 53. And Dennis Allen obviously got the big hero's welcome. You played the Saints, bro. You played the Saints. 2 guys more than 2 guys. Olave, we've talked about it. He got 2 touchdowns. Great. And look, Rattler did throw 2 good touchdowns. He did. Both of those throws were good. But he's too inconsistent. He's 1-12. He's too inconsistent. If he's good in the first half, he's bad in the second half. If he's good on 2 drives, he's bad in 3 drives. You can't win like that. Other quarterbacks that are playing in their first year, they're winning. I don't care if you throw for 100,000 yards, which he's not. He's not throwing over 200 yards. Not throwing over 3. He's 1-12. He's not getting it done. How much more game film do you have to see? How much more game film do you have to see on Group A, who misses field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal? Bring another field goal unit guy in here to give competition to his butt and put a fire under his ass. That's crazy. Juwan Johnson dropped a pass, had it right there in his midst, but didn't fumble the ball. Notice he was doing that when he ran the ball. Rattler in his career has 6 turnovers, 5 interceptions, and 1 fumble. That fumble loss right there. Just looks horrible, inconsistent, and again, as quarterbacks, you got to find a job. You got to find a way to win the ball game, win the game. And he was replaced in college at Oklahoma. He never excelled at South Carolina. There's a reason for that. He has 62% passing completion rate as a member of the New Orleans Saints. 62%. In college, 68%. In 5 years, at college level, 2 at Oklahoma and 3 at South Carolina, he had 32 interceptions. His college record was 28-14 in 5 years. He was replaced by Caleb Williams at Oklahoma. At Oklahoma, he was replaced. I think he's a good backup, not a starter. Is he the answer to this football team? Hell no. Franchise quarterback? Hell no. Is he a good backup? I don't know if he'd be a good emergency 3 backup. Now we got the news that 2 offensive not starters, one, Kendry Miller, is done, ACL, and he's been doing well. I thought that they were going to trade Alvin Kamara, but I think that's off now. I don't think they're going to trade Alvin Kamara now because we need another running back to back up him. So I think he's going to get what he wants. I think Alvin Kamara said he don't want to be gone from New Orleans. I think he's going to get what he wants. I don't think they're going to trade him. And I think he's the number 1 trade bait. Also, I thought Eric McCoy could be a trade bait at center. He's done. He tore his biceps. He's also beginning to be injury prone. Every year he gets injured. Jonathan, your thoughts?
Oh, where to begin? This whole football season has been rough on South Louisiana. LSU loses, Southern loses, and you can't even look forward to Sunday because although at times it's been competitive, you don't go into any game thinking, oh, the Saints should win this football game. It's just bad on all 3 phases. Roster not very good. The score was 13-0 by the time the Saints had 4 total yards. Spencer Rattler did bounce back right before halftime, threw 2 touchdowns to Chris Olave. I thought Olave should have been traded Monday morning.
Yep.
His stock will never be as high as it was that Sunday afternoon. Nope. He had a great game, and he does have a lot of talent, but he just hasn't been able to put it together as a wide receiver 1 for the number 1 Saints. No one can convince me he should be paid as number 1. So, yeah, he is absolute trade bait in my opinion. You mentioned Kendry Miller goes down. He was like the only guy on the team that was producing for his value on that rookie deal. Now he goes down. Yeah, now Alvin Kamara carries even more load. And how much more could those triers possibly take? Hopefully he stays healthy throughout the season because, I'm a huge fan of Alvin Kamara. He's done a lot for the organization.
Yep.
And the loyalty out in the press. He says he wants to be here. It'd be easy for this guy to say, hey, for the last couple of years of my career, I do want to go to a contender, somebody that's going to compete for Super Bowls. That's what he deserves. He deserved it when he was a rookie. He had an outstanding career. Deserves to play in the biggest game in the NFL. But truly, if you're the Saints, how have you not been making deals already? How have you not been going to get future picks for whatever you can get off this roster? You need to start doing it before the deadline, which is like November 4th or something like that.
Yeah, it is November the 4th.
Coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep.
I don't understand it. Mickey Loomis has been acting like, we're just one player away here at the organization from being a Super Bowl contender. That's why you trade 2 draft picks for a slot wide receiver that has 4 catches on a year. I don't understand it. I think he is the problem. Spencer Rattler, to answer is he a backup question? I think your backup quarterback, you have to believe you have a chance to win, even though he has to play. Spencer Rattler has proven he's not the guy to take you to victory.
Yep.
1-12 is just not good enough in any league, much less the NFL. And once you've had filet mignon, and the Who Dat Nation was dining on some filet for like 12, 16 years that Drew Brees and Sean Payton were here. Now we've gone back to Hamburger Helper, and I think Kellen Moore has done a good job with this roster, but it's just in dire need of a rebuild that should have happened 3 years ago. And until they do clean house and just start from not scratch, but you keep the culture guys, in my opinion. You keep the Mario, Cam, Alvin Kamara, if you can afford it. If not, let him walk. But the rest, I mean, you just have to get some value from your rookie deals. And until you're able to do that in drafts with some success, it's going to be a struggle.
Hamburger Helper.
That's it.
I love Hamburger Helper. I don't even think we're beanie weenies right now, because at least you got the beans with the weenies. Right now, I think we're Vienna sausage.
Just weenies.
Yeah, I think we're Vienna sausage.
Just weenies.
It's
yeah,
horrible.
I like that. Yep.
Holy, and it is November the 4th, 3 p.m. was the trade deadline. November the 4th, 3 p.m. That's Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When we come back, we'll do our pick'ems for the 5 pick'ems and a couple of other big things. Big, exciting game, the American League Championship Series. We'll talk about that coming up next as we continue talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouget today.
Make a fun run in Livingston Parish now with all kinds of events for the whole family this fall. On October 25th, it's the Livingston Parish Creole Festival in French Settlement, Louisiana on Highway 16. Family-friendly fun, live music, Creole food, arts and crafts, and plenty of activities for the kiddos. Shop vendor booths and pursue the cultural exhibits. Then in November, it's the Walker reenactment on the 1st. Then on November 8th, it's the City of Walker Veterans Day Parade that will begin and end at Walker High School starting at 11 a.m. Also in the city of Denham Springs, the veterans will be honored at the Evergreen Park on November the 8th. For more information, visit LivingstonTourism.com. That's LivingstonTourism.com. Livingston Parish, make a fun run. All right, well, let's talk about the games coming up, our top 5. You might know that last week my heart said LSU, but my mind said Vanderbilt would win. I said that on the air, and that was the only one that messed me over. I was 4-1. 2 weeks ago, I was 5-1. Last week, I was 4-1. 23-7 on the year. Jonathan, you went 2-3. Last week, you picked LSU as well.
Yep.
You're 18-12 for the year. So let's do this. I'm going to tell you what, I'm gonna get beat up this week. Got some hard games this week. Ole Miss, number 8 in the nation, against 13th-ranked Oklahoma. I got to say, defense is going to stop Ole Miss. They won't score as much as they did against Georgia. I think Ole Miss's offense is a little bit better than Oklahoma's in this one. On the road, I hate to say it, this was a tough one, but I'm going to go with Ole Miss to win this game right here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rebels as well. Not going to drop back-to-back. This team wants to make the playoffs. Very talented quarterback that can run. They run a dual system. Lane Kiffin, offensively, he's one of the tops. I'm taking the Rebels.
Number 15, Missouri will be at number 10, Vanderbilt. Can Vanderbilt do it 2 weeks in a row? Is Vanderbilt a top 10 team? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I've seen they were good, but LSU did not play well defensively at all. That's the reason they won that game, and that's why that Pavia looked great. But it's at home. I got to go with Vanderbilt on this one. This one's tough. I think Missouri can win this game. I don't think Missouri's on that level either, but it's at home. Vanderbilt's feeling the wave. I got to go with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, taking the Commodores, feeling very confident right now. Big win against LSU, a disciplined team that strives on offense and ball control. pretty much running the triple option with Pavia. It was very tough for LSU to defend, and LSU has more talent than Missouri, so got to go with Vandy.
Alabama, number 4 in the nation, at South Carolina. Could this be upset alert? Alabama looking good right now. There's no question. They've turned it around since that first game against Florida State. Florida State's not looking as good, but people can't go by that game like they do LSU out at Clemson, but it's different. Florida State's not that team. They just won. They were the better team that game. Alabama was on the road. They were not the better team. Alabama at South Carolina, I think Beamer is in trouble there. I think Alabama wins. No upset here. They win the game.
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama too. I've been high on Bama for the last 3 weeks, playing very physical. They found an offense that moves the ball consistently. Kalen DeBoer wants his team to get into a fist fight, and they want to be very dirty and physical up front, and they have the bodies to do it. I'm taking the Crimson Tide.
Number 3, Texas A&M. At number 20, LSU. Texas A&M has never won in Tiger Stadium since they've been in the SEC. Brian Kelly's lost 2 games at Tiger Stadium since he's been at LSU, and only 1 at nighttime. This game will be at night. My heart and my mind says LSU wins the game. I'm telling you, I think LSU's going to win it. I think they're going to give A&M their first loss. I think Tiger Stadium will be rowdy. I think Brian Kelly saves a little bit before retirement. I mean, I don't know if they win out or get close or whatever. I don't think he retires. But I think LSU wins. If it don't, it gets ugly this week. But I think LSU wins.
I would love for LSU to win this football game, not for Coach Brian Kelly's sake, for the players, but unfortunately, I'm going to change up my strategy this week. LSU's been biting me, so I'm going to go A&M in Tiger Stadium for the first time since joining the SEC. Mike Elko, Marcel Reed, they're playing very confident right now, punching above their weight class. I think LSU has underperformed. It will be a very close game. LSU's going to have a lot of fire. They know what's at stake. But, yeah, I'm taking the Aggies, and it burns me because my wife's grandpa went to A&M, and I'll have to hear about it all year. That's it.
All right, Tampa Bay at New Orleans and the Saints. Tampa coming off a Monday night loss to Detroit at Detroit. Had that one. I picked that one. Detroit would win that game. Detroit, Evans is gone now. Also, New Orleans are going to play tight, I guess. I still got Tampa Bay winning. I'd love to say for the Saints to win it here, but I'm going with Tampa on the road at New Orleans.
So not that Tampa needs help, but Detroit was helped by the referees for the game that they played against the Chiefs. The Chiefs were helped by the refs, so the refs had to pay back the Detroit Lions against the Bucs. The Bucs were shafted. They're going to get help this weekend. Not that they need it. It's Baker Mayfield's division. I'm taking the Bucs.
All right. Check this home run out in the American League Championship Series. Springer home run. Check this out. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Incredible. That was the bottom of the 7th. Seattle led the whole way. Never been to the World Series. They haven't been in 30-something years. Toronto's going to the World Series and will host Game 1 on Friday against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Unbelievable. That was a great right there. Just absolutely great. Pelicans open up the Joe Dumars era tonight in Memphis. 7 o'clock start time with that. Great game last night between Houston and Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City got their new rings. We'll see you next week talking sports with me, Chris Powers, and Jonathan. Bye-bye.
Rocks and fires. Tommy White with it. Johnson heads to the mark.